to the Business G Spot podcast. I'm one of your I'm one of your hosts, Katrina Garcia, and my other host is.
Who is he? Wait, you have another host? I thought you ran this thing.
You know.
Oh, guys, it's me, Tim Gillette, Simply Easy Marketing.
And look, he's already drinking. It's been one of those days.
Actually, it's only Dr. Pepper, so don't get too caught up in my the bar. I'm starting to stock a bar over here, though.
Don't you remember that commercial? I'm a pepper, you're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
I think you should sing that one. Go for it.
Ta-da! Ta-da! Tell
Hey, this is episode 59.
No,
59. Yeah.
Wow.
Just think about where we'll be in another 10 episodes.
Oh, crazy. We'll be crazy. Crazy for feeling so blue. Okay.
So have you noticed that like all of our friends, our mutual friends are all like traveling somewhere and you and I are staying at home this week?
Well, this week, yes. But next week, I'm hopefully going to be traveling to Vegas for Platinum.
Oh, I didn't know you were in Platinum.
Yeah, I just recently joined Platinum because I thought it might be a good opportunity. We shall see.
I don't know. I get it because I looked at Platinum too. 2 years ago, I looked at Platinum, and that was about the time in my life that I started to pull back on things and realize that, hey, if I've taken step one and it hasn't profited me to reimburse me step one, I'm not taking step two, no matter how hard you sell me.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, but for me, that network, step one,
didn't work.
Let me high and dry. All right. Yeah. And I realize they say they're open to men, but I've heard that on more cases than not. It seems like they like to take the men's money, but the men get nothing out of it.
Well, I don't know. It depends on the group because I know Neil Palachi has gotten quite a bit of. I think he's gotten quite a bit of business out of the group. I think. I'm not positive, but I think.
No, I got quite a lot of cold shows. I got one or two people who, I love you. I wish you'd come back, and I'm like, I'd like to come back, but I'm not dumping $70 some odd a month down a toilet that doesn't give me anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't pay off. I mean, by the time you pay to go to all of the networking functions for that month, it's like it's expensive, and you put in car time, and it's not worth it to me. It's not bringing me that much business, you know. But I get people, and there's this guy who he's been to some of Craig's stuff that you've been at, but he met Craig through my events, right? And I see him in everything, and I can't say that I've seen him make any money doing what he does. I think he's one of those card services or something, like send out cards or something like that. And I'm like, I don't get how you're gonna, I mean, it looks like you don't do any sales.
Yeah, I don't know. It very hard to say, but I know I agree with you. I mean, when you're networking and so forth, you have to figure out what's going to be the best bang for your buck, and if it's not, it's time to move on.
It is one of the reasons, Katrina, that I took the sponsorship things off of my virtual event. I used to have a sponsorship of my virtual event where people $40, $60 got so much extra advertising for their money. But I was sponsoring other people's virtual events where I got nothing in return. And, you know, I've had some people actually reach back out to me a second, third time. Hey, can you sponsor this event? And I'm like, I really want to tell you that I got freaking nothing from your last one. So I'm not putting another $100 in. Yeah.
I think a lot of the problems, though, when people are sponsoring events is that they don't truly push it across to their audience. They sponsor the event, but they don't send it out and letting everybody know, hey, I'm sponsoring this event. Come join. I've got free tickets, whatever the case may be. At least that's what I've found. I'm sure it's not in your case, but it seems like a lot of people that do a sponsorship and then they come back and say, well, I want to sponsor again. And then you ask them, okay, well, at least put some tickets out there or put it at your. Why? I thought that was something you were doing.
Well, it all comes back to, and I've always done this, putting butts in the seats at my event are not your responsibility. They're my responsibility.
I agree. And I guess it depends on who you talk to, because there are some people that would tell you, no, it's my responsibility, but also if the sponsors want more people in the room, it's their responsibility to bring in people too.
Yeah, it's not their responsibility. However, it is those who are willing to help me promote it to their list are the ones that are going to get extras from me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had someone, one of my first blog and video con, I had someone who put tons of effort. I mean, that person dished money out for sponsorship for my event, flew to the event, told everybody in her audience about the event, and has put butts in the seats for me. All right. I didn't ask, right? Did all of that. So when she's at my event, I'm talking about her on stage all the time. Well, someone else who sponsored the event was a sponsorship swap. Hey, I'll sponsor your event, all right, if you give me a table at your event and a speaking spot, and I'll give you a table and a speaking spot at my event.
Okay.
Right? And those deals never pan out. I take them on, but I never see results onto them. I don't like them. I'm not putting them down. I say, you want to keep doing them, go ahead. But for me, I've never seen them reward. Well, that person who did that came up to me after the end of my event and said how upset they were with me because I talked about this other person and not them.
Did you tell them why?
No. Listen. I just listened, right? And I went to their event. 6 people in the room at their event. The swap.
Well, and I think that kind of goes in time with when people do barter pieces. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've done that too, and that doesn't work either way. Sometimes I would barter with something and I would end up doing more than the other side. And sometimes it would be me doing less than the other side. So I just think a lot of times when you're doing barter and so forth, you don't realize the commitment. And mm-hmm. And what I always found is if I did a barter with somebody, then my commitment to my clients that are paying clients, they're my first commitment. So that's what I'd be working on, but then I wouldn't be able to work on that barter commitment. And then, it makes it difficult, which I get, but I know a lot of people out there do barter and sometimes it works for them and sometimes it doesn't. But I think it just depends on the business, and same thing with sponsorship. I think it depends on the business. And like you said, if your event's got 50 people in it and it's a barter or trade-off and they only have 6 people in their room, they're going to get a heck of a lot more on your end than they're going to get on their end.
But I mean, I've had a couple of barter situations that went down that path that just didn't work out. And I had one person that I bartered with for services for 1 year. Yeah. And it came time to renew. And he said, well, you're going to barter for the next year. I said, no. I said, if I can't, I said, this was my thing. If I can't help you make enough money to afford my services the next year, you're a fool. You are a fool to re-up with me. That's what I told him. And he went, I never looked at it that way. I said, I do. I says, I look at it this way. I didn't help you enough that you can make enough money to pay me next year. Dude, I'm a bad investment for you. All right. I didn't judge the service and the bartership at all. I could have, but I didn't. I stepped back from that and I said, no, I thought about that. As a business coach, someone who's supposed to help people get better at their business, if I didn't help you in that year get better at your business to the point that you can't pay me $7,500 a year, I don't deserve another $7,500.
I agree. And bartering is basically it's when you're just starting out, you're just trying to build. You don't have the funds to make that commitment. And it helps especially when somebody's just starting their business, it helps a lot. But like I said, I mean, a lot of times with the barter, it's very one-sided a lot of times.
Yeah, it is. But I will tell you this, anybody and everybody I've ever bartered with, they gave me their heart. I'll give you that. You know what I mean? Because all I do In a barter situation, I look at how can I do more for them? Like, I don't sit there and judge, did they give me the same as that? I just go, okay, I got to put my whole into this. And I don't worry about their whole. I put my whole into it. So at the end of the year, I don't want them coming back and saying to me,
yeah,
well,
you didn't
I gave more than you gave. So that's all I care in a situation at the end of the year, that I gave.
Yeah,
right?
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm the
okay,
same
yeah.
way. That I'm looking at things and going, okay, how much did I actually give in this barter situation? And did I give enough value? And then you look at the value on the other end. And then, like you said, if you sit down and talk to them and they say, let's do it again, and you didn't get the value, then you have to say, yeah, no, this didn't work so well. I gave you this, and this, and I got just this. Whatever, it. Like I said, some people it works for, some people it doesn't. Some people are really good at. I knew a business owner, and that's a lot of the stuff she did was bartering, but it worked out. She had contracts set up and everything on a barter.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But not my favorite thing to do.
Okay. So no, but let me ask you this, because I was just on, it was just on John Limbacher's call, and we were talking about this with somebody who was trying to get started in SEO services. All right, but when you started out your business, were there certain people you were willing to do? Okay, let me do this for you to prove my worth. All right, to try to get your name out there, and you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
So like, did you do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I did that. I did that here because I'm still new to this area. We've been here a year and a half, and the association that I'm a part of, I told them, I would be happy to help you with your website and so on and so forth. And they asked me, okay, how much? And I said, why don't we do this? Why don't we set it up so that you pay for my membership, and I'll make sure that the website's updated and so forth. And they've been very happy with that. And all I ask them in return is to spread the word. Let people know I'm working on the website. Spread the word that if you want a good person to help you with the website, spread the word. And that's what they've been doing. So it's been a good relationship in that respect. And that's the only reason why I did it, is because they're more entrenched in the community than I am. And this is an opportunity for me to now start to get myself entrenched.
That goes back to, though, Casey Everhart. I've always loved, Casey. I think Casey.
Yep.
Casey always used to teach something in networking, and I used to love hearing him do this speech. He used to say, if I need to go to a networking event one time, and he talks about the 5 people you connect with there. Number 1 is the person hosting the event. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is the biggest blabbermouth in the room. He says, when you connect to those people, all right, they're going to tell everybody about you.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to find out who the movers and shakers are in the room by connecting with the person who runs the event. And I remember one time he did it at Craig Duswalt's event. All right. As a matter of fact, I remember it because Casey was coming down he was coming down to the area because I was in town. He was coming down to have lunch with me. And after lunch with me, he's like, well, maybe I'll pop into Craig's event since I'm here. Right. Yes. Casey came to visit me for lunch. Get over it.
Sorry about
the
that.
relationships I have with people. Anyway, but then, so then I go in and he goes in and says hi to Craig. Well, what does Craig do? All right. It's the same thing, by the way. It's the same thing that Casey and I have always done for each other. This is a mutual respect. If I showed up in Casey Everhart's room and he's putting on an event, I have to stay there because Casey's pulling me on stage for 15 minutes at least. And I have that same rule. Casey Everhart's in town and he stops by my event. Casey Everhart's going on the stage. I don't care if he was on that's a mutual agreement. Well, Craig did that thing to Casey. He put him on the stage and he does that whole thing. And I remember because at the time, this was before Tony was his event planner. Carol was the event planner. And he said something about, guys, if you want to know who to network with Carol, the event planner. Carol knows who's sleeping with who in this room. I about lost it. All right. I walked up to Carol afterwards and I go, so Carol, who am I sleeping with?
Yeah. But it makes sense. You find those people, those 5 people, like you said, in the room that are going to get the word out or get you connected with other people that are in the area. And that's That's how you move and shake.
Another one.
Another what?
Someone who stopped in front of the house to look.
They're
I
shocked.
closed my curtains up so they don't see me in here with the lights on as much.
So before we started this show, what you missed is that Tim showed us his front yard, and he's taken out all.
I'm showing it now. It'll be on my Instagram stuff, but you got to follow me on Instagram to find out.
Yes, all the trees are now gone, and because
all the trees are brown and the sky is gray.
By and saying, "What's wrong? There's something missing on this yard."
To which, no, I came into my brother afterwards, and you remember the song California Dreamin'?
Yeah.
All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray.
Gray. Your sky is gray too, so. It
is. It's really a gloomy kind of day. A little bit of rain last couple days, but
it's gloomy here too. We haven't had any rain yet, but it's gloomy here as well.
No. So anyway.
So I mean, I know we were talking about bartering, but there's been something that's just, I keep reading it in the news and seeing it in the news. It's driving me crazy. Is these people that are going on flights and just causing chaos for why? Why? I don't understand what caused it, what started it, what was said. But in the past, I think 6 days or so, there have been 2 incidences so far. And it's been rising since 2021. I think they said that the incidences have tripled.
Well, number one, if you put people in your house, in their houses, and don't let them out, you're just curdling up anger that's going to come out somewhere eventually.
I agree.
Right.
And I think a lot of it too is I think the way people are treated in the airport. And I think part of it is too, there's a lot of people that don't like to fly. They know they have to fly, but they don't like to fly. So they drink in the bars before they get there. And it has a tendency to kind of have you do things that normally you wouldn't do because you're more relaxed, or it just depends.
No. I drink not so I'm more relaxed. I drink so like I'm so relaxed I'm ready to pass out because I can't. Most people who know me don't know this. I can't stand to fly.
Yeah.
I hate it. I am on edge until I'm on that plane and then I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
And I'm relaxed until I get to my destination. And as soon as I get out of that plane, it's like, and out of that airport, I'm like,
yeah, relief.
It is.
I think part of it though too is there used to be I'm sure you've noticed this, but in planes they're stacking people on top of each other.
Well, yeah, I personally think how much it's a cattle car.
I think, okay, United, Southwest, Delta, all of them out there, take out one seat in each row. One seat in each row, and you'll have a lot happier people. And they won't have these issues. But people are, plus the way we've talked about this before, how they're treated when they go into the airport. All the lines they have to go through, if the flight gets canceled or if this doesn't go right, it's one frustration after another frustration, to the point that sometimes some people boil over and they take it out on the people around them. But here's what upsets me is that everybody has their days and everybody has their moments. I get that. But we've talked about this too. How you deal with that tells a lot about you as a person. Exactly. And guess what?
Right? Because it may not necessarily always be, you can't control what the airline or the airport's going to do to you.
No.
You can control how you treat them.
And the people around you. Yes.
I may be pissed off at somebody, but that poor guy sitting next to me on that Southwest flight or American flight, why should I punish him?
Yeah.
Because the lady at the counter was a dirtbag.
Exactly.
I can control what I do.
Yep.
I can't control what American Airlines, Southwest, Delta, United, I can't control what they do.
And on top of that, everybody has a phone. So you're being videotaped being an asshole.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to see it. not just the people in the plane, but now millions of people are going to see it because now it's all over the news because invariably somebody got this and said, hey, Channel 9 News or 7 News or whatever, guess what happened on this flight? I got the video of it.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
Be that asshole.
Wait a minute. But they also, here's me. I know this, all right? I know that the video was turned on from the moment the bad happened.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see the video of the person who is being an asshole to them.
No.
Always just them being the asshole.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that goes back to the Rodney King thing, all right?
Oh,
Rodney King, many, many years ago.
You're only seeing one side.
You're only seeing one side. All right? And they can come up with, and this is what makes reality TV sell. They can post one side. The one side gets you to watch.
Yep.
Let's go down to business, all right? If I treat every person I come in contact with, all right, with dignity and respect that they deserve, I can do what I can do, all right? I used to love Scott Schilling. I think you know Scott as well. Scott Schilling, great friend of mine here in the Dallas area. The two of us were speaking at an event once in Palm Springs, California. I think we took two different airlines. I think he took American and I took Southwest to get there. But he talked about at that event, he actually talked about, he's like one of the first speakers. He said, well, when does my job start as a speaker? And he said, my job starts the second I leave the house.
Yeah.
Here's why. I could have been leaving the house and gotten pissed off at somebody in traffic, got to the airport, been an asshole at the airport, all right, got off the plane and been a jerk to somebody at the airport I got off, all right, and you know who could have seen me the whole way along the way because we live in the same town as Tim Gillette. And he said, and I would have got here and Tim Gillette would be sitting there in the back of the room going, yep, that phony.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the truth.
I know how he feels.
Really I know how he feels. I know what kind of a jerk he is. Wait, I'm not buying what he's selling. No. Well, that's not just in the speaking world. That's in all of your businesses, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
You may have gotten your moment in viral video history because you were an asshole at the airport, all right, and then they did something wrong to get you to press that lawsuit, but I'm sure you ticked them off too.
Yep.
You can't control what they do. You can only control what you can do.
What you do and how you deal with it.
And if you have to answer for your mouth, your voice, your anger, whatever it is, you got to answer for you. Yep. I don't have to answer for how bad Southwest Airlines screws up. I don't. And they could have screwed me over royally. I don't have to answer to that. Yep. I got to answer for how I treat them.
I agree.
I spoke Monday morning. I did my yearly devotional at Ziegler headquarters. We did it on Zoom, but anyway, and it's a devotional type headquarters. And I shared my story of last year being arrested. I went through it and I talked about it. And I said, you know what?
And you could have been a real asshole about it because it was.
I was wrong.
It was a situation where you were not in the wrong, you were in the right, and you could have been a real asshole about it.
Yeah. But I didn't, all right? And because of it, I said, you know, and I actually said this is, you know, there's a young gentleman there who I got the picture and the call the day his baby was born. I had a talk with him and, you know what I mean, that helped him realize what it's going to take to become a man and possibly be the father of a child not being present because it didn't look like him and the girl were going to get back together.
Yeah.
He's going to have to go about raising this child, all right, being a dad that's not a dad who lives in the house, which is common in our days in society. We had a long talk about that, and we didn't have a lecturing talk. We had to talk about what that means. How do we handle that? And I said, here's the truth. I can hate that freaking day all day long, but if I wasn't there, that man may not have gotten a hold of somebody else who was nice to him.
Yeah. I mean, and there was a time, I mean, we all deal with this stuff. We've all dealt with it at one time or another, where you show up, your flight gets canceled. And the thing is we went on a trip. It seemed like the never-ending trip from hell, but needless to say, we went on a trip and we were trying to get back home. we got into Colorado, and Colorado just had a storm, lightning storm. So they shut down the whole airport for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
We get there and it's just now starting to get up, but everything is backlogged.
Yeah.
So everybody they've been waiting for their flight to take off, and now we're waiting, and everybody's been pushed back. And you could see, based on how people were handling it, those that could handle it well and those that could not. Yeah. Those that were getting up in front of the face of, why is my flight canceled and why can't I, and blah, 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 blah. We're all in the same boat. But like we've talked about, the thing that people don't realize is that we all, like you said, we all have the choice to act like assholes or to act civilized. I mean, think about it this way. If you were on the other side of that, you were the ticket agent, you can't control it. And now that person is screaming at you. You think you would handle it any bit differently? Of course you would, because you'd be like, well, it's not my fault.
Well, hold on. Here's a great thing that Nick Creek from over in Australia, our Australia audience has tuned in today. Hey, Nick, good to see you. Sometimes it is good to let off steam, but better to save it for the gym where you can fit, can get a fit as a side effect.
I agree.
Good thing, because that's a great place to take your aggression out with your headphones on, pumping iron, and you're going to add to the health of your body as opposed to adding to the destruction of others with that angle. Great point from Nick there.
And like I said, it's a telltale sign of what kind of person you truly are based on how you're dealing with stress and how those emotions start to build up. Everybody gets to see who you really are.
Yeah.
And you can't hide that once it's come out. Sorry, now everybody gets to see that you've been an asshole.
No.
Even if you come on and apologize, I'm sorry for that slap. It still shows that's how you handle it.
Wait a minute, isn't it funny that a year later we're still talking about the slap?
Well, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I actually took the opportunity to watch the
I don't even want to talk about what you're going to talk, because I've ignored everything and do it because I don't care.
Well, no, but I actually watched the Netflix comedy show that was a live comedy show and now the name is just escaping me, for God knows, Chris Rock, and he talked about it here and there, but he didn't. I mean, he made a point of stating that I could have been an asshole. I could have done this.
Well, he's doing this whole thing about it now, and I'm like,
I'm not going there. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
But needless to say, I think even just those small infractions, it really shows how a person can handle stress, and it tells a lot about you as a person. And we've all gotten upset at our loved ones because they can push buttons that nobody else can, right? But when you're in public, I don't know. It just irked me to no end when I was watching this and thinking to myself, really? Again, people? Really? You might as well just put a sign over your head. Asshole. Treat me as such. I'm an asshole. I'm showing you all. I'm an asshole. Treat me as such.
And, I had another instance on it, and I can't remember it now. But anyways, I thought it was somebody else I knew who went off the handle. But anyway. But no, I mean, I've gotten that from, personally, I always, and I referred to this on Monday when I was talking at the event about one of the most spiritual people I know. And I'm not saying, it's Christian spirituality or Buddhism or whatever. But as a person, Glenn Morshower, to me, exudes the example of what a good, godly man should be. And
I agree.
You've done that more times than you want to know. And I'm not talking about seeing Glenn on the screen. To me, it's great. It's my buddy. I know him. He's on the screen, right? I'm talking riding in the car with Glenn.
Oh, I haven't had that opportunity.
I've ridden in the car with Glenn and had time with him. I've hung out at his house with Glenn and had that opportunity. I've had sit in a restaurant with Glenn. No, I've had the opportunity to see Glenn that most people don't see. And this is my fortunate part. It's probably why I know the celebrities I know, and I don't tout who I know. And because I've seen some of these people behind closed doors. And the ones that you hear come out of my mouth is probably something that we did behind closed doors that impressed me. Not seeing them on the big screen, not seeing them on the stage, that don't impress me. Yeah. I can get on a freaking stage, right? So anybody can, right? They don't. That's not for them. It's their personality behind the scenes. All right. And I'm telling you, that impresses me when I see it. And I've seen a celebrity that was on one of Craig's stages once, who I hung out in the bar with him that night. And he's a slime ball. I don't ever think I want to ever be friends with that guy.
I just think it's an interesting dynamic, and it goes along with your clients too, and how are your clients going to treat you and how you treat your clients, and customer service that goes along with that. I mean, I've had clients that weren't happy. I mean, we all have.
Yeah.
But I didn't scream at them and yell at them and tell them they were assholes and they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. I just said, well, I'm sorry this didn't work out. You know, I hope in the future that maybe you'll relook at us, but things happen. And I think that that's a telltale sign of a business and how well they manage customer service, including some of the big ones that are online, like Coca-Cola, Nike, and so on and so forth, and how even with their customer service and how they've handled things in the past.
Well, okay,
it tells a lot about it tells a lot about their company values. But
let's talk about the customer service issues that are out in our world today. A lot of companies have all this stuff set up to be able to deal with customer service and when a problem goes wrong.
Yep.
All right. How many people, all right, are not actually utilizing that to their best, to their advantage? They're not.
No.
All right.
I agree.
If someone focuses on a problem that I have, I'm not just going to go in and throw money at it. I want to go in and throw a solution. Okay, how do I fix this? Not, can I give you your money back? No. How do I fix this? It's not about the money at that point. Now I've got to fix it. And in some cases, I've got to do $200 of work for $25 worth of payment to solve the problem. Yeah. Because I don't want to be known as, well, yeah, but he gave me his money, he gave me my money back, so it's okay. No, he solved the problem.
Yeah.
That's what customer service is, and it doesn't mean we let people walk all over us. As a business, we let people walk all over us. No. Yeah. Every now and then there is a situation that comes up in your business that as the business owner, I got to go far and above the extra mile to please this one person.
Yeah.
Now, doesn't mean I'm probably going to be bringing them back as a regular customer, right? But if I handle the problem, I now know future how to handle situations. For instance, let's say it's a $500 website. I know you don't do $500 websites, but it's a $500 website, but they want the $3,000 website that you do, right?
Yeah.
In some cases, I have to create them a $3,000 website. Now, I'm probably not going to create it from the next time. I'm probably going to come back and go, I'm sorry. I think maybe you need to go with Katrina on this one and move you to another company, right? But I may handle it there and take the loss, because exactly what we're talking about here, the one thing I've learned in life, there's only one thing that I own and I will always own. All right. And that is my name. Goes back to that. I forget the movie where the girl said, he goes like, yeah, but why? She says, because it's my name. I only get one
name.
And I'm going to make sure my name stays worth what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I
Name
agree.
your word. Yeah.
And I think a lot of times businesses take the easy way out and just blame it on the customer. Because I've seen this on social media. Well, somebody will complain. And granted, there are some people that just complain to complain. But there are some people that will complain. And instead of addressing that complaint, they just go on about, yeah, I remember serving you. You were just a this, or you were just a... That doesn't matter. What matters is how are you going to manage that complaint? And how are you, because the thing is people out there are seeing how you're managing that person. So say like they've complained that you've done this and this and that, and instead of just ignoring it, which is not a good thing either, but you're going in and saying, I'm sorry you didn't have the best of service. Let's make this right. Here's my phone number. Call me. Let's work this out. People are seeing that at least you're making an effort. If they keep coming back and complaining and you keep saying, like I said, give me a call, let's work this out, and they're not calling you, now they're seeing it's not really the business, it's the customer.
Yeah.
And they can see that with the conversation going back and forth. But I think a lot of times businesses ignore those and they just think, oh, it's a bad client, I'm just going to ignore it.
Yeah.
When they ignore that, it makes it even worse, because now they're saying, oh, I see. So they don't even really care about bad service.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll go with someone else.
But let me ask you this. All right. And to our audience, I'll ask you guys in the audience this is, when you have good service, do you tell them about that? We're all first to run to Yelp real quick to make a complaint.
Yeah.
But I had a guy do the trees in my yard today, right? And you know what I mean? The first thing he said to me, he says, man, I want to do a good job because, you know what I mean? I came to you through, you know what I mean, through a vendor program that he's part of. And he says, I'd like you to go to that vendor program, leave me a review. I'm like, you bet I'm gonna leave you a review. You did an awesome job out here, right? And you're going the extra mile for me. Like, you said, well, this is not, I don't normally do this. And then the guys jump in, hey, can we do that? And I'm like, I thought you didn't do that. He goes, I will do it for you. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay. I said, you bet I'm going to go leave a 5-star review for you because you've earned it today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Most people won't go give the 5-star review.
In fact, they say that when you've upset a client, they will tell 20 people. Right. When you have given great service for a client, they'll tell 5.
Yeah. So that being said, then the other thing is all right, how often have you gone in for this weekend, past weekend, we went, we go to Fort Worth where we're part of a theater over there. We have a membership at a musical theater. And
wait, you go to a musical theater?
I go to a musical theater.
I had to go there. Sorry.
Wait a minute. I should tell you what I went to see this weekend, because every time I go there, I'm blown away.
What'd you go see?
The musical Beautiful. Do you know what that's about?
No, I do not.
It's the Carole King story.
I read the Carole King story.
I came home. For first of all, I went there thinking, it's going to be these songs that she sang with James Taylor, and no. I was blown away at how much of an impact Carole King had on the music industry.
Huge impact.
Huge. Her and her first husband wrote so many hits.
Impact. Yes, a lot of music that people would say that. Wait, yeah, she wrote that.
She wrote that, and I'm like, whoa, right? I was blown away at that, because I've always loved. My favorite song of hers has always been "So Far Away." All right. And they opened up the show with that, but just a clip of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's the one song that you could have sang that I would be like there. It's because it's my favorite song of hers. Right. But we go to this theater once a quarter. We have tickets for this. Right. Well, we started the practice a couple years ago of like, usually the night before we go get a hotel in downtown Fort Worth. Right. And between Glenn and I.
Is it that far from you?
Huh?
Is it that far from you?
It's a 55-mile drive.
Oh, okay. So it's not that far.
It's not that far, but still, it's like, we take that as a night out. Yeah. We go over, and here's the truth. Gwen and I have so many points with Marriott. We could stay every quarter for the next 6 years for free. Right. But we do that. It's like just like a little date night for us.
Got it.
Well, we go and we always try to find some unique place to do dinner. If it's too cold, we'll get dinner in the hotel. We generally the same hotel we stay at. But if it's not too cold, we'll go and walk around the streets. Like I valet my car at the hotel and I don't leave. Right? I don't drive anywhere. If I'm going anywhere outside, I'm taking an Uber. because I want to drink.
Exactly, because you don't want to move the car.
No. I want to drink, and I don't want to have to drive back to the hotel.
There you go.
Well, yeah. So we went to this restaurant, a seafood restaurant across the street, which gets back to our topic today, that we made a reservation probably 2 hours beforehand. We get over there for it, all right, and I said we got there 15 minutes early, and they have the option you can sit in the restaurant or they have a patio. I said, we'll take the patio if it's open because it seemed to be a nice warm walk over. Well, while we're there, it got a little chilly. So they wheeled these heaters over next to us, and like 2 of them, it was like an oven almost underneath these things on the patio.
So it was nice and toasty.
It was nice and toasty. The only bad part about being on a patio is all the noisy cowboys who got the fancy pickup trucks and they're playing their Spanish music going by. Yeah. But we got such great service. I mean, and they were just really, really great to us. It's like, well, she goes back out and she goes, you think you want dessert? We're like, well, I don't know. Well, I'm not going to force you, but here's the menu. And I'm like, you know what? You're so sweet. I'm buying dessert from you, right? We're eating our meal. We're almost done with our meal, and a little cat walks across the patio. No.
This cat likes the dessert too.
No. This shows service. So we look at the cat, and we just like, I'm dropping pieces of food on the ground. The cat comes over and eats it. Gwen's trying to get the cat to eat out of her hand. I'm like, the cat's an alley cat.
The feral cat, yeah.
Yeah. Give the cat what it wants. So anytime I gave the cat anything, sure, it's coming right to me, right? Because I'm not trying to bribe it.
Yeah, you just hear.
Right? So I asked the staff, you guys aware of this? They're like, oh, yeah, we call him Little Chef. They named him, right? They call him Little Chef. And they're telling us about all the things they do to feed him, how they try to help take care of him. All right. He's probably like 9 months old. He's not that old, right? But the way they treated us and then the way they treated that cat, well, now I'm giving them a good review. And the lady who waited on me is getting a rather large tip. Now, I'm not going to tell you, I always tip large. And most of the time, if I have cash in my pocket, a lot of cash, I will leave a large cash tip and not put it on my card, right? That's the other part of service, right? When people give great service, you need to reward them. That server works on tips.
Yeah.
Right? And I have been known to give $100 tips on a $40 dinner. Right? And I'm not bragging about that. I'm like, sometimes I listen to the Glenn thing. I listen to whisper in my head. If God's saying, give them a tip, I do it.
Well, and that goes back to the comment that we made that I don't understand how people that have really good service will only tell 5 people, but yet if they've had bad service, they'll tell 15. And I had actually read into this that they said as human nature, we're more inclined to be geared towards the negativity and the negative comments or the negativity in general because it's more enticing than when it's good. Just like with the reality TV. I mean, that's the reason why people
back to what Glenn what was that? What was that singer? Glenn not Glenn Fry. No, Don Henley.
Glenn Campbell?
No. Don Henley.
Oh,
Dirty Laundry. It all goes back to Dirty Laundry. Can we get the widow on the set?
Yep. And it's sad. It's sad that we've got to that point that even on the news and everywhere else, you see all the bad stuff. That's why I really like there's one particular news station where what they do is, yes, you see the bad stuff and you see them reporting it, but at the end of every evening, they have one good story, one heartwarming story, one good story, something about how this person helped this person or something. They end their evening on a good note, which I think they all should be doing that, is ending the evening on a good note. And
maybe we as a society, maybe that's something we need to practice on our show, all right? Because it's great to sit here, Katrina, and say, everybody should.
Yeah.
You know what it comes down to? I can't control what American Airlines can do.
Oh, I agree.
I can control what I do. So maybe when we see that is a thing that you and I need to step up to the plate and start doing that.
I agree.
We
I
need to
totally
lead.
agree.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. And I try and do that everywhere I go. If I see and my I can't remember who told me to do it, but they said you can make somebody's day just simply by telling them, you know, you have the best smile. Oh my gosh, that outfit looks stunning on you. Oh, you're the nicest person. I saw you do this and interact with that person. I just wanted to say what a wonderful person you are. And it's just, I think we should be more inclined to looking at the good things out there, because as we know, the more you see the good things, the more good things you will see, and the more that will come to you, as opposed to the opposite.
Yeah. Well, you know, another thing Casey Everhart used to do was he used to every now and then just reach out to people randomly. Pick 5 people at random, all right, and just send a text message. Hey, you know what I mean? Not trying to sound like just, hey, I was thinking about you today. I hope things are going on good in your life. You know what I mean? And it's touching people in such a way that it impacts them, right? When I was a young kid, me and my roommate, one of my first roommates I ever had, his name was John. And John and I, on a regular basis, we would go to the mall. We would go to the flower kiosk at the mall and we would buy a batch of flowers. And we would walk around and look for the girl who looked like they needed it. She needed it. And we would walk up. Here, ma'am, something told me you need these today. These flowers are for you. Please take them and go have a blessed day. And turn around and walk away. There was no time to sit there for her to go, oh, yeah, and argue with it. There was no time for us to try to hit on her. No, it was not about that. It was about totally making her day because she looked like she needed to have her day made, and then turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
And let her sit in the moment to go, someone really made my day. They wanted nothing in return than to just make my day.
Yeah. I taught that to my son, and my son does that on a regular basis, where he'll go out in public and he'll see somebody or see something, and he'll go up and tell them, I just got to tell you, you've got the most beautiful smile. I just wanted to say that. Yeah. You have a good day. And then he walks away. Mm-hmm. So he's learned, because when he was younger, a lot of the girls were like, oh, creep. They think you're trying to come on to him. And so I told him the same thing. I said, don't stick around to get thank you. Just say, just wanted to let you know that. And you just keep walking. Yeah. You don't give them an opportunity to react, because as we know, with some people, they don't know how to react to a compliment. They really don't.
They don't, because they've not had them.
They just don't. I remember one time we were in Vegas, and my husband happens to be one of those people that you've met him. He's very, very talkative. He's very friendly, and so on and so forth. And we were in Vegas, and he was talking to these ladies. He said, how you doing, ladies, tonight? You doing good? You having a good night? And they're like, ew, your wife is with me. She's with you, and you're flirting with us. And I said, you know what? He's just trying to be nice. Evidently, you guys don't know how to deal with that and figure that out. And my, it's like, really? You can't just, you think somebody's coming on to you? You can't just say, oh, that was nice. Oh, we're having a good time. Thank you. And move on. Yeah. No.
Well, and that goes back to, all right, yeah, there's been too many creeps in the world, all right? And it's hard to see the nice guys when you've got 95 creeps and one nice guy.
True. They're so used to being, I guess, seeing the slime balls, that when somebody nice comes along, they don't even recognize it.
No. Here's I'm going to be honest with you, and my wife knows I've done this, right? I mean, here's the flirt I've done. There was a girl last year I met at a conference event, all right, and she was working like a booth for demonstrating stuff. And when it came time for me to do my demo, she comes up, and I just said to her, I says, I just got to let you know this right now. I says, you are my kryptonite. I'm a married man. I'm not trying to hit on you, but you are gorgeous. So, all right, you cannot let into me, because I'm going to hit on you. All right. And I'm going to try to take you home and go to bed with you because you are gorgeous. All right. But I'm married, so I can't. That girl said to me, she looked me in the eyes in tears and she says, "You just made my freaking day." She's like, "You're not slime ball hitting on me. You're hitting on me and then saying, sorry, you can't have this.
Yeah.
You're doing it in a way that really makes me feel like a woman." And I'm like,
and wouldn't that be wonderful if all of us just, I mean, anybody listens to this.
Yeah.
You just took an opportunity to say something nice to somebody. And it doesn't have to be, I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot. Just, you look fabulous today. Has anybody told you look really nice today? What a great smile you have. I can tell you're a wonderful person. You have a great day. I mean, it's just such simple things that you could probably change somebody's day. Because I think I remember reading a story where there was a gentleman, he was in high school. And he found this out later, but he was in high school, and there was this one kid that he went to school with, got picked on, bullied all the time. And he went up to him and he says, "Dude, you look like you're having a bad day. You want to go talk about it? Let's go talk." They didn't know each other, but he looked like he needed to talk. So they started talking, and he helped him out, and then they went their separate ways. But he found out at the high school reunion years down the road that literally he had saved that kid's life because he was thinking of killing himself that day because his day was that bad.
yeah.
And because he went up and he said, "You look like you're having a really bad time. Can we, let's talk about it. Maybe I can be a sounding board for you." He said, "You literally saved my life that day." So you just don't know how much of an impression you can make on somebody. And that means on a plane, anywhere you go in public, doesn't matter. Be the person that makes a difference. That's the person that's really going to emulate, and people are going to look at and say, wow, did you see what that guy did? That was awesome. As opposed to, "Hey, did you see that other jerk?"
Simple. No, I hate to use this, all right, to dominate, all right, my trademark, but simple, easy tasks get great results.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Be nice to somebody. Give them a compliment. Tell them how wonderful they are. Or it will make their day, and it will make you feel better, because they say, you want to feel better? Go make somebody else feel better. And that will make you feel better.
Exactly.
And you don't even have to lift a finger. all you have to do is tell them.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. It's very simple.
That's right. So
just saying, if more of us would do that, just think of what the world would be like.
So if we gave our audience a call to action today, what would it be?
I would say that the next person you see something really wonderful on them, and you comment them on that. Whether it's, "That color looks fabulous on you," or, "Wow, dude, that outfit looks good on you."
Mm-hmm.
Or, "You have the most beautiful smile." Whatever it is, tell them. Don't just go by and think to yourself, "Oh, she's got a nice smile." Tell her. Tell him.
Yeah, but you see, what I notice nice on a woman, I can't say that. I'm a married
Oh my God, we went there. Yes.
Hey, you got a nice set of buns there.
Yes, we went there. Just
it is the business G spot. Come on, we got to hit a hot topic sooner or later.
We did go there several times. We've gone there. Always, we're gonna go there. Always.
And if you miss an episode, see what you miss.
Yeah.
You can't miss an episode of this show because you don't know what's going to happen.
It's always on the fly. This has been never scripted. None of these shows have been scripted. None of them. It's always the fly. And we all learn something. All of us. One way
or another. Wait. That could be our motto. No script. No couth. No.
No booth.
No script. No. But
gotta think of something.
Yeah, it's like the third one is like, you know what I mean? No
script, no couth. Oh no, we'll think of something. Just saying.
No, yeah. No thinking before we say something. Yeah.
Right. See? See?
All right,
She
let's see what
loved the
Nick got. My
compliment.
partner's daughter had someone come up to her and say, "You have a cracking
racket." But
cracking
she
racket."
loved the comment. But she loved the comment. See? Yep. I'm just saying. That's all it takes. It's all it takes. So I say go out there and send somebody some smiles and tell them how wonderful they are, or whatever you see that looks great on them. Tell them. Give them a compliment. Make their day.
Yeah.
Before you know it, people are going to be making your day because you've made so many other people's day.
Well, it would start there. Why don't again we start with leading and doing before we act?
Just do it. And you'll be the one that everybody will be looking to and going, wow, yeah, that guy over there, he was a chair. Yeah, but did you see this person and what they did? That was so awesome. They'll see it. Let's have people notice the good instead of the bad. Let's do that. That's our motto. Okay. Put more good out there than bad.
Exactly.
See what the world turns into. Just saying. Just saying. That's my motto. And that's what I'm sticking to it.
I love it. So did you get the email for me, by the way, on the 21st? About the 21st?
About the 21st?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did. But unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town on the 21st.
Damn it.
I'm going to be out from the 20th to the 24th. So I thought about it. I did. But unfortunately, I'm going to my first. And at the beginning of the show, we talked about platinum. We were talking about eWomen, just to confirm on that. So that people are thinking, platinum, what the hell is that? Just to clarify.
Well, that is the my mastermind. I have gold level mastermind and platinum level mastermind. So a lot of people have a platinum to their coaching program, and then I have what I call an elite coaching program.
Yeah.
So the masterminds are the gold and platinum, but the elite is a coaching program and mastermind.
But there's no silver or bronze. Have you noticed? It's always gold or platinum. No silver, no bronze.
So you know what? My silver level could be my virtual events membership is silver.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Olympics, silver is second place. And then bronze is third place. Yeah. Still top three. Can't beat it.
Yep. So
I'm just saying. I'm not sure how platinum got in there, because when you think about the Olympics, there's no platinum. It's gold, silver, and bronze. No platinum. So I don't even know how that started.
Anyway, it's moving forward because we're up here at the end of the hour, and
yes, we are.
Before we go, we actually have to do our sponsorship duties.
Yes. Right. Don't forget.
Our sponsorship duties. All right. This show is brought to you by sponsors. Did you know that?
And the two sponsors are the ones you're looking at.
Yeah. Anyway.
First sponsor is KG Website Designs.
Yeah.
Where we take your website and make it to the point where it's your number one employee. Yeah. It makes money. It doesn't call in sick. Makes you money while you sleep. Yeah. That's what we do. And
I'm Simple Easy Marketing, which we have Simple Easy websites, Simple Easy events, Simple Easy video. Like, we make it simple and easy. Simple for you to do, easy for your customers to find you.
And he's really easy.
As opposed to sleazy. Anyway.
Spot, just saying.
Yep. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, did you know that yesterday was International Women's Day?
Yes. In fact, I was at a girls' conference event yesterday. Yep. And I will share the website that I pulled together, because anybody can use it pretty much for the most part. I put online opportunities for certifications and so forth that anybody can find, as well as I put on there some options for getting internet and computers for either scholarships for one or getting them for next to nothing.
So you know why that was created International Women's Day, don't you?
No.
March 8th is my mother's birthday, just for the record.
Got it. That's probably why.
At least that's what I've been told.
It's got to be why. It's got to be. And besides, us women need a national day, because I'm just saying, if we were in the country, it would be fabulous right now.
Wait a minute. When's International Men's Day?
You guys have an International Men's Day all the time.
It's called Super Bowl Sunday.
Very true. Very true.
With that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end our show for the day on a high note.
Until next time.
Until next time, guys. The Business G-Spot is a podcast. We air every Thursday at 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain
Time. Yep.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.